think the COVID hit back. We're just very family again, which is really...
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Glogossips USA. We hope you're doing well and staying strong by God's grace. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss the latest updates. Trust us, this update from the Sister Wives universe. It's not just a twist, it's a full-on emotional earthquake. Just when you thought you'd seen everything from the Brown family saga, a bombshell has detonated, one that's left fans stunned, insiders shaken, and the internet ablaze. In a shocking and heart-wrenching turn of events, Aurora Brown, Robyn's eldest daughter, has disappeared. And it doesn't end there. Sources allege she didn't just run away. She vanished with a massive stash of hidden cash that she found buried deep inside none other than Kody Brown's private closet. Yes, you heard that right. The girl once thought to be the quiet, gentle soul of the family has pulled a move so extreme, it's left even her closest loved ones speechless. So why would Aurora, known for being loyal, soft-spoken, and so tightly bonded to her mother, suddenly snap? And what exactly did she uncover that made her walk away, not just from her home, but from the only world she's ever known? Today, we're peeling back the layers and exposing the cracks in a family already on the edge. Because what's happening behind those closed doors may be even darker than we imagined. The truth is, tensions inside Kody and Robyn's home have been simmering for a long time. Years, according to insiders. Ever since Christine walked away from the plural marriage, the entire family structure began to collapse, like a house of cards. Janelle followed. Then Mary. And suddenly, Kody was left with only Robyn and her children from her previous marriage, along with their 2 younger kids. What once looked like a plural family became a fragmented, fragile patchwork half-siblings. Stepchildren, and a father who, by all accounts, was falling apart. Kody, once the overbearing patriarch of a sprawling plural clan, had become something else entirely, according to people close to the family. He morphed from a commanding presence into a man barely holding on, paranoid, angry, and obsessed with control. And Robyn, publicly, she's tried to stand by him, the ever-devoted wife. But privately, sources say she's emotionally depleted, isolated, and worn down by the never-ending storm that is Kody's spiral. And then there's Aurora. Viewers remember her as sweet, fragile, a girl who often looked to her mother for reassurance. But behind closed doors, something shifted. According to family friends, she started pulling away, ignoring texts, skipping family events, and even backing out of online college courses. It was subtle at first, but it was the kind of withdrawal that screams something is wrong. And now we know something was. The center of this twisted storm lies in Kody's mysterious closet, a place long considered off-limits. Family. Insiders say Kody never trusted banks. Instead, he chose to hide his money in the strangest places, especially in that closet. One of his children, who asked to remain anonymous, confessed, "We always kind of knew Dad hid money in there, but he was scary about it. If anyone even stood near that door, he'd lose it." Most of the kids didn't care. It was just one more part of their dad's controlling world. But Aurora cared. Aurora noticed everything. After a brutal argument, one night a clash between Kody and Robyn that witnesses described as one of their worst ever. Kody accused her kids of leeching off him and blamed Robyn for all his financial misery. He screamed, he pointed fingers, he even threatened to cut off her children completely. Robyn locked herself in her bedroom, sobbing. Kody stormed out of the house in a rage, and Aurora. That was the moment she snapped, in the middle of the night. With the house eerily quiet and emotions still thick in the air, Aurora made her move. She quietly packed a small suitcase, snuck into that forbidden closet, and opened the door that had always been kept shut. What she found was staggering. Stuffed inside shoeboxes, wrapped in plastic bags, and buried under a mess of old clothes, were thousands upon thousands of dollars in cold, hard cash. Stacks of $100 bills, envelopes full of smaller notes, even a metal box, locked and still shrouded in mystery. a box she couldn't open, its contents still unknown. Estimates suggest she found over $75,000, maybe more. And then she vanished. No one knows exactly what drove Aurora to this breaking point. Some say this wasn't impulsive, that she'd been planning it for months, maybe even years. Others believe it was a moment of desperation, fueled by trauma, fear, and watching her family implode over and over again. But what's clear is, that night, something inside Aurora broke. Before leaving, she left a short, heartbreaking letter on her bed. It said only, "I can't do this anymore. Please don't try to find me. I love you." The next morning, Robyn found the note, and the closet, and the cash gone. What followed was sheer chaos. According to neighbors, the house descended into panic. Robyn was seen in tears, collapsed on the floor. Kody reportedly didn't come home for hours, unreachable, possibly already spiraling in his own rage and confusion. And the rest of the family, silent, watching, waiting for answers that still haven't come. What pushed Aurora to the edge? Where did she go? And will she ever come back? This story is far from over, and the fallout is just beginning. Stay tuned for part 2 right here on Glogosops USA, where we dive deeper into the Brown family's collapse, the shocking theories surrounding Aurora's escape, and how Robyn and Kody are scrambling to pick up the pieces before it's
bother me. It's what she's doing with our children, talking behind my back about the reason she left.
Welcome back to Glogosops USA, where the truth behind the drama always finds the light. And what we're diving into now is nothing short of a family explosion, a moment where rage, heartbreak, and desperation collided in the Brown household, and nothing was ever the same again. After discovering that Aurora had vanished and taken with her tens of thousands of dollars from his secret cash stash, Kody Brown lost control. He went into a frenzied spiral, tearing through the house, shouting her name over and over. Aurora, Aurora, echoed through the walls like a thunderclap of panic and fury. He called her phone again and again, but it rang only once before going cold straight to voicemail. And that's when it hit him. She was really gone, not hiding, not sulking, gone. In a last-ditch panic, Kody jumped into his car and began driving through the town like a man possessed. He checked the local parks, the cozy little cafes Aurora loved, and even stopped by that bookstore she used to sit in for hours. But no trace of her, nothing. She had vanished without a sound. Eventually, the reality caught up with him and Robyn. They called the police and officially reported Aurora missing. But here's where it gets murky. At first, they described it as a simple runaway case, carefully omitting the stolen money. Secrets like that don't stay buried long, especially not in the Brown family. A leak from inside the police department sent shockwaves through the press. An officer speaking off the record, Kate, admitted that it was immediately obvious the parents suspected Aurora had taken a substantial amount of cash. Kate, and tried to hide that detail. They didn't want that part out, the officer said, but we had to document it. That single confession changed everything. This wasn't just a missing person case anymore. This was a scandal, messy, tangled, and full of questions. The media pounced. Why did Kody have so much unreported cash lying around at home? Why was he hiding it? Was it even legally documented? Income. As reporters began to dig, the family tried desperately to reel things in, but it was too late. The truth was unraveling, and the world was watching. In the days that followed, the search for Aurora intensified. Family members reached out to anyone who might have seen her, friends, classmates, even distant cousins. Tips flooded in from all directions. One said she'd been seen at a Las Vegas bus terminal. Another claimed she was spotted at a Salt Lake City diner. A third reported a girl matching her description staying at a cheap Arizona motel. Each time officers arrived, she was already gone. The emotional strain on the family was catastrophic. Robyn, always emotionally fragile, has reportedly not left the house since the night Aurora disappeared. She's refused to appear on camera. According to her closest friend, she blames herself. She keeps whispering, "I failed her." The woman who once clung tightly to the image of a perfect family was now completely shattered. And Kody, he's a volcano, seething with rage exploding in every direction. But what's shocking is who he's directing it toward. Insiders say he's blaming Robyn, furious at her, accusing her of spoiling her kids, of raising them to be ungrateful. According to one source, he ranted, "You turn them into entitled brats." Another insider said the truth is even colder, that Kody seems more angry about the stolen money than the fact his daughter is missing. He's ranting that she betrayed him. One family friend shared, he can't trust anyone anymore. He's spiraling. In one particularly cruel outburst, he was overheard shouting, "It's just like her father," a loaded insult, and no one's quite sure what he meant by it. But the venom in his voice said more than enough. And while Kody fumes and Robyn grieves, others in the family are quietly choosing sides. Some of Kody's older kids, especially those who've walked their own path away from the chaos, have subtly shown support for Aurora. One daughter posted on social media, "Sometimes you have to get out just to breathe. I hope she's safe and finds peace." The message was brief, but it spoke volumes, especially coming from someone who understands what it's like to grow up in that environment under the constant shadow of their father's anger, rules, and emotional neglect, in a moment that truly surprised fans. Kody Brown, Kody's ex-wife, reached out to Robyn. Yes, despite their rocky past and long-standing tension, Kody apparently told her, "I know what it's like to watch your child struggle and feel helpless." According to a mutual friend, Kody even offered to help search for Aurora, should Robyn need her. And that brings us to a legal gray zone. Because technically, Aurora is an adult. She's over 18. That means she has the legal right to leave home without permission. But the money, well, that's where it gets complicated. If the cash truly belonged to Kody and Aurora took it without his consent, some might call that theft. But legal experts argue it's not that simple. If she took it for survival out of fear, or genuinely believed some of it was meant for her, or just felt cornered, the situation becomes far more nuanced. So far, no charges have been filed. Police are treating this as a domestic incident, not a criminal one. And those closest to Aurora say this has nothing to do with greed. It was about escaping a cage she could no longer breathe in. A long time. Viewers of Sister Wives remember Aurora's panic attacks, her visible anxiety, the nervousness in her voice. Her friends say that after the other wives left and the home grew more isolated, life became unbearable. She never felt like she was enough. One former friend shared, "Kody snapped at her constantly. She was afraid, trapped. In truth, she didn't take the money to steal it. She took it to survive." And while the family quietly unravels behind closed doors, Sister Wives producers are scrambling. Some filming was reportedly paused to give the Browns privacy. But others claim Kody is already trying to spin the situation for a new storyline. According to one crew insider, Kody's positioning himself as the glue that holds the family together, claiming this disaster proves how everything falls apart without him. He's even telling people that Robyn can't manage the kids without his guidance, spin, or sincerity. Fans have their own opinions, and they're not holding back. Across TikTok, X, Twitter, and Instagram, hashtags like #FreeAurora and #TeamAurora are exploding. One fan tweeted, "Poor girl, I hope she's safe. No child deserves to grow up like that." Another was even sharper. Maybe if Kody cared more about his children than his hidden cash, Aurora wouldn't have had to run. Public sentiment is loud, clear, and deeply emotional. People are rooting for Aurora and furious at Kody. So where is she now? No one knows for sure. But rumors suggest she may be staying with a distant relative in California. And in a tragic twist, a voicemail Robyn left for Aurora has surfaced online, her voice raw, tearful, and begging. "Sweetheart, please just let me know you're okay." It's a chilling, heartbreaking reminder that beyond the headlines, this is still a mother desperately searching for her daughter. But while Robyn pleads for peace, Kody is on a different mission. Sources say he's been consulting with attorneys, considering whether to pursue legal action to reclaim the missing money. He hasn't filed anything yet, and many believe he never will. But the very fact that he's even thinking about it shows how deep his bitterness runs. And just like that, the Brown family saga has reached another level of crisis, with a daughter on the run, a mother in anguish, and a father torn between rage and pride. At its essence, this tale of Aurora's departure with her father's cash reserve isn't merely another salacious news headline. It's a glimpse into the emotional devastation within the Brown family, a family that has lived under the intense glare of reality television for years. This isn't about the money. It's about control, mental illness, parenting issues, and what it feels like to grow up having every aspect of your life play out in the public eye. Right now, above all else, people are hoping Aurora is okay and that someday this broken family can finally heal, no matter how long it takes. Kody's rage and Aurora's disappearance. Kody entered a state of rage, tearing up the house and screaming Aurora's name. He called her phone, but it went straight to voicemail. In a last-ditch effort to locate her, he jumped in his car and drove around town, stopping by places Aurora was known to frequent, local parks, favorite coffee houses, but she was nowhere to be found. Later, Kody and Robyn called the police and reported Aurora missing. Initially, it was labeled a runaway episode, and they omitted the detail about the missing money. But that didn't stay hidden for long. A police officer involved in the case leaked to the media that it became immediately apparent the parents believed she had stolen a substantial amount of money. They didn't want that aspect to come out, said the officer. But we had to record it. That single fact sparked a firestorm in the press. Reporters began asking hard questions. Why did Kody have so much cash in the house? Was it even reported income? This was no longer merely a runaway case. Became an open scandal. For days, no one had any idea where Aurora was. Family members frantically called friends, schoolmates, even distant cousins. Verified sightings flooded in from everywhere. A bus station in Las Vegas, a diner in Salt Lake City, and even a rumor she had taken a bus to California. A young woman fitting her description was spotted at a motel in a tiny Arizona town, but by the time officers arrived, she was gone. Emotional fallout within the family. The ordeal deeply strained the Brown family. Robyn was completely devastated. She blamed herself and hasn't left the house since Aurora went missing. She refused to come on camera for the show. Close friends said she keeps saying she failed her daughter. She's been crying nonstop. Kody, on the other hand, was furious with both Aurora and Robyn. Insiders claimed he's been raging at Robyn, accusing her of indulging the children and fostering an attitude of entitlement. He's angrier about the money than the fact Aurora's gone, said one insider. He's been shouting, "She's just like her father." Some of Kody's older children have quietly defended Aurora, though no one officially confirmed. What happened? Cryptic messages online suggested solidarity. One daughter wrote, "Sometimes you have to get out to breathe. I hope she's safe and finds peace." Even Kody Brown, Kody's ex-wife, reached out to Robyn. Despite their history, Christine expressed compassion, explaining she knows what it's like to see a child struggle and feel helpless. She even volunteered to help search for Aurora. Legal implications and the public reaction. Legally, Aurora is over 18 and free to leave. But the money, that's murkier. If the funds belonged solely to Kody and Aurora took them without permission, that could be theft. But if she can demonstrate she felt threatened or believed the money was partially hers or needed to survive, it becomes a far more nuanced issue. To date, no charges have been filed. The police are treating it as a domestic incident, not a criminal case. Those who know Aurora insist this isn't about greed, it's about escape. They describe her as gentle, anxious, and emotionally fragile. Many remember her panic attacks and social anxiety shown on the show. She never felt like she was enough, said a former friend. Kody would snap over little things, and she felt stuck. Honestly, I'm surprised she didn't leave sooner. Most believe she took the money not because she wanted it, but because she needed to survive without ever coming back. Behind the scenes, producers of Sister Wives paused, filming briefly, but are now scrambling to decide whether or how to include this in the show. Some say Kody sees the crisis as a chance to reshape the narrative. He wants to prove he's the glue that holds it all together. He's been telling people Robyn can't handle the kids without him. Aurora's whereabouts and the family's despair, Aurora still hasn't made a public appearance. But rumors suggest she's staying with distant relatives in California. Robyn has reached out repeatedly, even leaving a tearful voicemail one that eventually leaked online. "Sweetheart, please just let me know you're okay." A mother's plea, raw and heart-wrenching. Kody, however, has spoken with attorneys about possible legal action to reclaim the money. He hasn't filed charges, and many doubt he will. Still, the fact he's even considering it shows how deep the wound runs. Kody's explosive ultimatum to Robyn just as the dust was settling. Another shockwave struck. Kody reportedly delivered a brutal ultimatum to Robyn. "Out of the house or I will." According to leaks and sources, this wasn't a typical argument tit. Was the culmination of years of bitterness and resentment. At one time, Kody had 4 wives: Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn. But over the years, one by one, they all left. Only Robyn remained. Robyn's children, particularly Aurora and Dayton, had been fighting with Kody. The household became more isolated. Financial stress intensified. And then came Kody's outburst. "This house is like a prison." Kody allegedly told Robyn, "You and your kids sucked the life out of me." He blamed her for overspending, for emotional drain, for everything falling apart. When Robyn protested, saying she never asked for this, Kody responded coldly, "I don't care anymore. I need peace. Stay with your mom, your sister. Just leave." Aftermath and reaction, Robyn reportedly locked herself in the bedroom for hours, crying. The next day, neighbors saw her packing suitcases into her vehicle. Whether she left permanently or just needed space remains unclear. The wider family's reactions were mixed. Christine said, "It was only a matter of time before he turned on her, too." Janelle added, "I don't wish that kind of pain on anyone. I hope Robyn finds her strength." Mary noted, "Maybe now she knows how it feels to be discarded." Online fans were divided. Some felt Robyn was finally facing the consequences of years of favoritism. Others were heartbroken. Hashtags like #Robyn deserves better and #Kody ultimatum began trending. Some say money was the root of Kody's fury. The show isn't earning like it used to, and with a heavy mortgage and fewer cast members, the financial strain is real. Kody blames Robyn for overspending and thinks if she leaves, he can downsize. But even Robyn has said privately, "He's not the man I married. He's angry all the time." What comes next? Whether Robyn returns home or not, the emotional damage is clear. Kody oscillates between rage and sorrow. One friend said, "One minute he's saying he's taking his life back. The next, he's sobbing about being alone." Aurora, already traumatized, is devastated. Robyn's children are confused, hurt, and broken. The Brown family, once held up as a model of plural marriage, is splintered beyond recognition. And as Robyn stood at the doorway, suitcase in hand, a witness claims she turned to Kody and said, "You always said you'd never leave me, but it turns out you just wanted someone to blame." Kody's reply, barely above a whisper, "Maybe we both made a mistake.